So when you had mentioned obviously putting your car on Turo, then you actually went out and bought a car specifically so you can rent it out on Turo, and now you're looking at buying two more. A lot of people, I'm assuming Turo is kind of like Uber in the sense of like there's some people that think that they can actually get out and just Uber their car, but then they actually try and put it on the platform and they find out they actually can't because their car doesn't meet certain qualifications. Now in Uber's case, there's very few cars that don't meet it, but I'm sure Turo has some standards on like what requirements they require for a vehicle to be put on the platform. So could you go into details on like what requirements would someone need to know for their vehicle to be able to be on Turo? Because imagine someone goes to buy a car specifically to put on Turo and it doesn't even qualify for it. That would suck.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so there's a few things, and also if this is assuming you're in the U.S. So like they have different laws and rules depending on what country you're in. But for the U.S., it has to be newer than 12 years old. It has to have under 130,000 miles. It cannot be a rebuilt title, so it has to be clean title.
Mm-hmm.
There's some exceptions, like if you're doing like a classic car, obviously, because that'll be a lot older. But yeah, for the most part, those are the rules. Now, if you're already on the site, it's not like you'll get kicked off at 130,000 miles. You'll be grandfathered in, and then you can keep using that car. So it's not like, oh, well, I can only do it until it's 130,000 miles. That's not the case. You just can't list it once it's above that.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
That puts a lot of things in perspective because that is one of the things that
yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, because yeah, they must have increased it because now when I looked at this was literally like 5 or 6 years ago. But back when I was heavy into the gig economy with the Uber and the Lyft and the DoorDash and that kind of stuff, I was curious about Turo, but I kind of shut myself down from looking at it because I did look at some requirements, and their requirement at the time was like it can't have over 100,000 miles. And my car didn't have over 100,000 miles, but it was kind of approaching. And I thought that, well, if it's already approaching, what's the point even doing it? Because once it hits 100,000, I wouldn't be able to put it on there anymore. But hearing you say that, I honestly didn't know that as long as you get it on the platform before it hits 100,000, it can still stay on the platform from that point going forward. It won't be disqualified if it goes over 100,000.
Yeah, and that's huge because it really, changes the numbers. Like how much am I going to be able to make on this car if if in 2 years I got to take it off? Now, how much has it depreciated? What's its value? Like, is it worth it? So it really would change your numbers drastically if that wasn't the case.
Right. I guess that adds more to the credence that like some people literally have fleets of cars that they put on Turo and do rentals and stuff like that. That scenario makes a lot more sense now. Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a few people with like over 100 cars. There's a lot with like over 10, 20. Yeah.
Right.
And they also have requirements, so Turo's gotten big on the so like now you have to do, I believe it's annual inspections. So you'll have to take it to a place. It's, it's cheap, $35. I think you could actually even do it virtually. I did the last one virtually, where a mechanic is like on the phone and he's asking you to, yeah. But they do have, they do require inspections. And then also if there's a recall, they will automatically like unlist your car and you have to go take care of that until it's taken care of. So.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, and then of course, if you do decide on this thing, one of the things you want to think about is like, make sure you have good tires, make sure you're maintaining the car properly. One, because you don't want it to leave the guest stranded, but primarily because you for safety reasons, you don't want the car to a tire to explode and now they crashed and now you may end up in a situation where it's like, well, you weren't maintaining the car properly, so you never want to get into that.
Right.
So
obviously. Yeah, you want to make sure you're maintaining the car, obviously, because you care about the safety of your. What are the people that rent your car called on Turo? Are they guests? Are they customers? I'm
They're
trying
guests.
to figure out. Yes. Okay.
So they call them guests and hosts. So we're the hosts and yes.
So they use the same terminologies they use on Airbnb. Okay.
Sup everyone, y'all just watched a clip from one of the episodes of the Side Hustler Society podcast. If you want to check out the full episode, you can click on the link in the description right now or click on the video that's showing in the end screen. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when another episode drops, and a thumbs up on this video is very much appreciated. I'll catch you in the next one.